Hi,
I'm Sebastian.
I'm Chris.
I'm Toni.
And you're watching Visions for a Child's Heart.
Welcome to Visions for a Child's Heart, and welcome to London, England. This is Miss Evelyn, and I'm here living my dream and sharing the vision for a child's heart with someone I've just met here. I call her my transcontinental twin. We've just met this week, and we're just going to share a few minutes talking to you about the vision for a child's heart globally, not the organization, not the television program, but the concept. So I want to introduce you, and I want to welcome you, Miss Debbie Huxton.
Thank you very much. It's really nice to be here.
Yes, yes.
Lovely to meet you.
Yes, we've had 2.5 days together,
have.
and it started off that I wasn't aware of. I just found this out yesterday, no, today at lunchtime. Tell me what happened that started our connection.
Well, I attended the Les Brown seminar on Wednesday where you were speaking.
What's the name of the place?
Central Hall in Westminster, London, United Kingdom. And you were there amongst several other speakers. And I was listening avidly to all of the speakers who were all very good at what they did.
And you may need to speak a little louder because we're competing with some background noise here.
And the messages that all the speakers had to give were very valuable. And then Miss Evelyn got up on the stage and I was mesmerised. It was as if the whole audience disappeared and I was just taken on my own journey. Every word that you said I connected with. You reached my heart and I realised that we had a lot in common. And following that, I'm amazed at how the connections have been made over the following 48 hours.
Thank you. What was it that stood out to you, that I said that stood out to you the most?
I think it was the fact that you realised that children need to have a voice and we need to connect with them through the heart. And that's very much the ethos that I'm trying to create here in Great Britain, that we need to give our children their voices back. They need to be heard.
Exactly. And so not only did she hear, I didn't even hear this until today, but we spent the past 2 days in the Power of Voice training. We ended up sitting at the same table.
We did.
And as she began to share her dreams and her visions, we found out that they're just so interconnected. And you're about to do your first seminar.
I am.
And what is the name of the seminar?
It's Take Time Out. And I basically had the idea for that 2 months ago. I decided to go with my heart and I've put together a seminar where we're going to have an international business speaker and author come along, Bernie D'Souza, and he's going to talk to parents, delivering quite a powerful message, because my ethos is we need to personally develop our parents out there to re-educate them to be able to educate our children. In doing that, we need to make them have a connection with mind diet, not just body diet. We need to get synchronicity to be able to deliver that message to our children.
Exactly. And what really lit my fire, basically, about what you said, you talked about starting with personal development when children are young,
yes.
And that for the holistic point of view, so they can grow up healthy in all those areas. We talked about the adversity that children face, and for me, working primarily with foster children and children who've been bounced around, but all youth, and youth who also are considered to be high or at risk. But your profession, primary profession, you're a registered nurse.
Yeah, I'm an emergency nurse.
Right, emergency nurse. And you talked about having young people come in as a result of having attempted suicide and other issues, overdose
alcoholism.
And yes,
we have a lot of children doing drugs. They come in and they feel undervalued. They feel they've got no support. They feel misunderstood. And they've lost the connection with themselves, and what I hope to do is help them reconnect with themselves. I think it's very important, because what we're forgetting is children are our most precious, greatest assets, and what we're creating in the social climate in Great Britain at the moment. There was a headline saying we're a nation of bad parents, we're actually creating liabilities, and I want to stop that cycle now. I want to reconnect with the parents, get them to reconnect with their children.
And the village as a whole, the village as a whole,
to be, what I'll take,
right,
village.
which is being aware of what's going on in the hearts and the minds and the spirits of our young people.
Absolutely.
So unfortunately, I'm only going to be able to do a few minutes with you because I have some other villagers and some young people that I want to meet, but I'm looking forward to us working together.
Absolutely.
Even when we spoke, we found out that even personally, we have so many parallels in our lives. So I believe that we've been called to a purpose, and this is not just a local issue. It's not just a statewide issue. It's not just a national issue. It's an international, global, world issue. And I realize now that they're all our children. And I didn't just realize that, but it's being confirmed for me. So I just want to thank you. I'm looking so forward to our working together, me coming back here, you coming to the United States, and just embracing our children. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back with Mr. Harold Bradnock, who is the coordinator of the event that we're attending here. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Ms. Evelyn. I'm back with Mr. Harold Bradnock, who is the coordinator of the event and our host for being here in London, England. And he's also my platinum brother with the Les Brown Platinum Speakers Network. Thank you, Harold, for having us here.
Thank you for coming.
Yes. Please tell our audience, because I don't remember the name of the event. All I know, I'm here, and I'm glad to be here, y'all.
Well, this is life-changing for me. It's a dream come true. I always said when I joined the Platinum program, is I want to bring you guys to here in the UK.
You need to speak up.
And this is a dream come true. I brought over to the UK Les Brown and the Platinum Speakers.
Okay. And what was the name of the event?
It was a Les Brown UK tour with the Platinum Speakers. We had two events. One we had is how to recession-proof your life in a downturn economy. That was a seminar. And then we had a 2-day workshop, how to discover your power voice.
And with that, for me, being a part of that, but you know my focus is on the youth and the village.
Yeah.
And we had an awesome conversation just in passing, and we had lots of young people in the seminar. We talked about how important that was in being the village. And so I want you just to share a little bit what was exciting about this with you for the young people being here.
Well, let me share with you. Something got birthed this weekend, and it was my dream. I birthed the Youth Greatness Academy. We had 5 young adults, and they're the 5 young adults. They're our future, and we're going to use them as an example. We're going to use them as an example to empower them, to change other youths. Because right now, if I approach a young person, they'll think, well, it's okay for you, you've always been that way. But if a young person approaches them, looking good, as they say, flossing, they want to know, how do you get like that? And those young people can say, well, we can show you how to improve yourself through education. You'll be like, what? But I want to be like you. So my goal is to utilize the youth to hit the other youth. We started this week with 5. By the end of the next year, there'll be 500.
Right, yeah.
Each one teach one, each one teach one.
And see, the name of this program is called Visions for a Child's Heart. And you have your own visions for the heart of our children.
They're our future.
Yes, they
They're
are.
our future.
Yes, they are.
We can't not let them go, because it's down to us. I just turned 50. I know I look 30, but still. And it's my job to pass on to the youth what I've learned, what I've seen, and what I don't want them to go through what I went through.
Can you briefly tell us, if we just have a short period of time, I know in the United States the statistics are very, very high for what we consider to be at-risk youth. What do you see as the greatest issue here in the UK? Because I never had that global thought that you would be dealing with the same things that we're dealing with. Real quickly.
The issues we have here, I mean, poverty plays a part of it, but you see, I call it this. The educational system right now, they're not pumping money in education. There's formal education and self-education. And it's always the poorer people they miss out. Now, the youth today,
we have 1 minute, Harold.
They're running wild. And I think what's happening tonight, we need to change that.
Okay.
And I think that what we got to do is, where they're spending a lot of money on entertainment, we need to spend more money on education.
So as villagers, as just common villagers, what is it that we each could do?
What I think we could do to empower the youth, I call it personal development. It's improving yourself personally through courses, seminars, books, tapes. Just basically be more focused and doing something different.
So you're saying the villagers do that for themselves as well as for the children?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we should, you see what it is right now, visualization, the media plays a part as well.
Definitely.
Right?
So we need to change the vision.
Yeah,
so the H in heart for working in the village is to hold a higher vision for our youth.
Yeah.
And we're going to have time to talk about that another time. You're going to probably be back in the States.
Almost definitely. I'll be
Within?
back within the next 2 months.
Okay, so then I'll have you to come to our office and we will perhaps do a full 30-minute interview.
I'd love to.
Okay,
I'd love
thank
to.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with some of the youth in our village. Hi, it's Ms. Evelyn. I'm back. Still in London, England. We're here at the Hilton Croydon Hotel. So if you hear some background noise, life continues on the outside world, but we're focused here at Visions for a Child's Heart because we have a vision. I want to introduce you to 2 young men I've met here in the UK, and they've already endeared themselves to me. We have Mr. Chris Goode. And what part of England are you from?
I'm from Nottingham, England. It's in the Midlands.
Nottingham, okay.
Yeah.
And you're how old?
I'm 19 years old.
19 years old. And we have Mr. Junior, a.k.a. Billy Jets. I don't even know your last name, but that's about names. We're going to spin up all our tape trying to say that. And you are?
I'm from Brixton, London, born and raised in London all my life.
Okay. And how old are you?
I am 28.
28. So he's still a baby. He think he's grown, but he's still a baby. But I'm so excited because these young men participated in the full seminar. And were either of you there on Wednesday night?
Yeah, I was there on Wednesday.
Yep.
You both were there. That's why when you saw me, you say, you're the village lady.
Yeah.
So it's just so exciting because I realize our young people, wherever we are, they get such, especially our young black men, get such a bad rap. But no one talks about when they're doing positive things. So I'm going to try to make the most out of this few minutes. First of all, I want to know, what is it that you do now? What was it that inspired you to come to this seminar?
Well, basically, for the past 3 years, I've been very into like personal development, and I've been working with young youths for the past 4 years, like taking them football every Saturday. I would say from 14 to like 28 to like my age, and we've been going football every Saturdays, building a good rapport between the neighbourhoods, between different boroughs and different communities, and just trying to raise the awareness of peace, really and truly.
Where did you get your awareness for peace? Because you're still a young man. You're already giving back to the village.
Yeah.
But what was it that gave you a sense of peace when you were coming up?
I think where it was is, while I was growing up, I was brought up in the church, and I left the church when I was like 14, and then I lived a life of just havoc and mayhem. And then I wasn't like the worst guy on the streets, but I did know a lot of bad guys, and then my life was just kind of a downhill spiral from there. And then when I was 23, I just decided I need to be able to lead people. But a voice inside of me said, how can you tell people to live a certain way when you don't live it yourself? Why don't you lead by example? So I decided, all right, my mom goes to church, let me decide God to give my life to God, and then I just follow the Bible principles from there.
Awesome. See, and that's another aspect to the spirituality.
Yeah.
The young people, and I know both of you both subscribe to Christianity, to the faith and of God's Spirit.
Yeah.
What brought you to the seminar?
What brought me to the seminar, it is definitely God, because at the end of the day, when I first started my church, they went a retreat that year, and from that retreat, I went on and I met a guy called Toni. He does the urban voice. He helps, they help young musicians, they help them get more focused to do artist development. And so basically they do everything with it. And so basically, after years of being with him, I've been underneath his wing. He got me onto the seminar, and then from the seminar, I'm part of the youth empowerment team in London. So now that's what it got me here. So he's actually threw me down to church while I'm here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is that you do. You have this wonderful vision. I'm planning to hook you up with some of my young people in the States.
Definitely. At the moment, I'm developing a site called Motivate365.com. And what we want to do is we want to get young entrepreneurs from every single continent, and we want to put all their ideas together, all their business ideas, all their stories, poetry, interviews with successful people. We want to just put it together and just create one big site for everyone in the whole world. And the motto of the site is motivating the world one day at a time. We want to motivate the world one day at a time, also one person at a time, because every individual is important in this world. And some people say one individual can't change the world, but that's not true. If you look at people like Martin Luther King and Obama, these people are making changes, and they are one person. So there's no reason why I can't make a change, and why you can't make a change, why he can't make a change, and why Evelyn can't make a change right now. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to do that, and we're trying to do it now, and not wait until the time is right. We want to do it right now.
Oh! I like that.
Right now. And we're going to put a link to your website on Heart's website, and you can look up that information. And our website is forachildsheart.org, www.forachildsheart, FORACHILDSHEART.org. What brought you to the seminar?
Well, it's like divine intervention, you might want to call it. 4 weeks ago, I wrote down 100 goals, and number 37 was to meet Les Brown. I visualized this. I even took a photo of Les Brown with someone else and stuck my face on that person. And I visualized taking a photo with Mr. Les Brown. And when I went to the speech on Wednesday, that happened, and it just happened exactly how I imagined it. I prayed, I expected it. I actually came down to London with my things, my toothbrush, my deodorant. I didn't know I was coming to this seminar, but I expected it. And a man named Harold put me up, he gave me his hotel. And this isn't like an ordinary hotel, this is a top hotel in London, so the vision just went to a whole new level.
And that's a pure example of visions for a child's heart. We want our young people to have a vision, held a higher vision of themselves, to see themselves doing something positive. Our media puts all the negativity. Sometimes as we as adults speak negative things into their lives. We want our young people to have a vision because they aim for it. And his is a prime example of someone who had a vision and it was manifested. Tell me about any obstacles you've had, maybe in growing up as teenagers. What were some of the obstacles, and we've got 2 minutes, that you had, and who as an adult, how did they bring you through that?
Okay. Well, when I went to primary school, this was in a bad neighborhood or whatever. I was born to young parents. My mum was 17 and my dad was 19, the age I am now. And I just can't imagine bringing a child into the world myself. So what they did for me, they instilled a belief. They told me, you can do this. And a lot of people from that school, they're dead or they're in prison right now. But I got a scholarship to a better school. They saw something in me. I don't know whether it was my belief, my drive, but they took me on, and I've developed as a person. And all I'd say to anyone who wants to be better, if you want to be a Usain Bolt or you want to be an astronaut, it's possible for you. Whatever you want to do, you can do it.
Right. So the teachers in the school saw something in you.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the biggest struggle for you?
The biggest struggle is probably people around me, people who were my so-called friends, who would lead me astray and tell me to do this, or don't do your homework tonight, come out and party or whatever. So it takes a lot of mental strength. When I was doing my exams, I actually locked myself away for weeks because
stay away from the peer pressure.
And people would ring me up saying, come to the park, it's a nice sunny day, let's play some football, soccer to Americans. And you just have to have this determination. You have to have the long-term goal. It's important to have short-term goals, but the long-term vision is very important because this is your life, and it's up to you who you become.
Right. And I know one of the things that you mentioned when we were sharing is about the divorce of your parents was also an issue for you as well. And so you have the peer pressure, we have family issues that affect us, but you still have to keep moving forward, and you've overcome those. Billy J.
Well, for me, as I was growing up, I think because I live in Brixton, so everybody...
And in the U.S., we don't know what Brixton means.
Oh, Brixton is like the ghetto or the ghetto of London, but probably to you it's like, oh, this is a suburban area. But anyways, when I was growing up, I had a lot of role models. I had a lot of role models, and they were just basically, they wasn't telling me to go to school or nothing like that. They were telling me to actually get involved in selling drugs, get involved in robberies, and basically that's the way I went. And I think it was just me, actually, when I went to jail, I actually met a guy who had converted, and it's just the wisdom that was coming out of his mouth. And then I just thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to actually read Proverbs. Understand? Because the Proverbs is written by the richest man ever to have lived, and the wisest man.
Never thought of that.
Yeah, the richest man to have ever lived, and we all want money, and the wisest man to ever have lived as well. So I thought, let me read this Proverbs. Back then I didn't even know the whole story behind them, but I was actually reading it, and I was thinking, wow, this is connected with me. And I was just thinking, this is the only book I've actually read that is actually I can resonate with, that is actually touching me. So I was like, yeah, so truth is truth at the end of the day.
Hello.
And no matter what age you are, you will always know truth. Like as a youth, I've always listened to a song that says, always look on the bright side of life. And that song has always been in my head. It's not that I love the song, but it's just the words. It's saying, always look on the bright side of life. So I've never been really angry about my dad leaving or anything like that, because I've always seen the positive side. My mom said that he used to beat people badly. So I thought, well, I don't want to get beaten by him badly. You get me? Yeah, but I was just like, yeah. So I've always looked on the positive side of life. But even though I got into badness, that was always in my head. And then actually reading the Bible has actually managed to change me.
And I think it's just amazing, as young people, you both have a solid basis. We were talking about the movie The Secret, the law of attraction, and you said something that was very, just so significant to me, that really, when you went through, you read the book, The Secret, I saw the movie, and I was taking notes, and you said you took it and went and compared it to Scripture, and realized that basically, it's just what, the truth is the truth. Yeah. It's what God said, they're saying somebody else said it, but it's really spiritual principles. So I wish we had more time. I can't wait for you guys to come to the U.S. and for me to bring some of my young people here. You make me proud. You just really do. So I'm glad to have met you. I've got heart. I'm becoming, I said I want to be an international mom or auntie or something. Here I am. I'm living my dreams. All right. So we'll be back. I have 2 more hearts to introduce you to, and living my dreams. We'll be right back. We have here Mr. Sebastian Cowan.
Yes.
I got it. And we have Mr. Toni, and I'll let him tell you his last name.
Toni Arayoe.
Arayoe. And what is your heritage?
All right, I'm from Nigeria.
You're from Nigeria.
And I'm 21.
And you grew up here?
And I grew up in Lagos, in Nigeria.
Okay.
I came here 3 years ago to do my studies in university. And it's very great. I was actually supposed to be in America for architecture in the University of Florida.
Okay.
But I changed my mind, and I'm really, really happy here.
Very
good to meet you as well, because if I was there,
I would have been over here.
Exactly.
That's right, that's right. And you grew up?
In London.
In London?
In London, England, all my life.
Okay.
Yes.
And your parents are originally from?
Originally from Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yes.
Okay, because that's something I didn't ask. I'm wasting time. Help me get big. Chris and BJ. I didn't ask them about, because what I'm finding here that there are a lot of families, even, when we talk about, being black young men, and I'm so used to saying African American, but there are really a lot of people who are directly their descendants of their parents that grown up in Africa, Jamaica. So it's so full of culture, so rich in culture here. But you heard me interview Chris and VJ. Tell me just what were your thoughts as you were listening to them and your responses to those. What is it that you do, and what brought you to the seminar?
I'm currently a fitness instructor.
Okay.
What brought me to this seminar? The pastor of my church, he told me it'd be good for me to see Les Brown, to see just what an awesome communicator he is, and to be inspired.
Okay, okay. What about yourself?
Me and Sebastian are in the same church, actually.
Oh, okay. So
we've got
two
the
more
same-
spiritual.
Oh yes.
grounded
Oh yes.
young
Right.
men.
We have the same bishop. The bishop invited me to come down and showed me a YouTube video, and I was impressed. I needed to see this guy, you know, and I'm really touched. I'm really confident that this should go out to the youth out there. They need to see this.
Yes.
This is the solution to the problems of today.
As young people, what do you see is the primary issue with young people today? What have been your struggles?
A lot of my struggles personally have been social pressure. Bowing down to social pressure. People telling you you can't do this because you failed in the past, because you've come from hard times, because they weren't able to do it themselves.
So, as we would say in the States, our kids said, haterism.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what got you through that?
What got me through that was my faith. My faith got me through that. I believe that God got me through that. And God has been such an inspiration for me. He has drawn me to great speakers like Les Brown. I've met a lot of awesome communicators during these couple days. And this has really been giving me even more fuel to the fire for the passion that is in my heart.
All right. Love it.
And me, what are my
What were some of your struggles? What do you see as the
struggles?
The issues with our young people today? We got 2 minutes. Our videographer.
The struggles, peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
I was a victim of peer pressure.
Okay.
I was raised in a church, came here, and before I knew it, smoking and drinking and things I never did before. Why? Because I wanted to join the crowd.
Okay.
And
wanting to feel a sense of belonging.
Exactly, exactly. And I just realized that instead of following the crowd, I need to ask myself, where is the crowd?
Okay, where is the crowd going? Did y'all hear that? Okay.
You know, and it's really powerful when I came out of that to realize who I am, because that helps you not to yield to the pressures of what they want to define your life to be.
Okay. Tell me one thing an adult may have done or said that showed you that you were supported by the village. Just one thing that stands out to you. What comes to mind?
One thing that stands.
One thing that stands out to me is that for the first time when I was struggling, when I was looking for my way, a person came and said to me that I see the king inside of you. And this is powerful.
Yes.
What is a king? A king has authority.
Yes.
A king has dominion. A king has control.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that.
My dad said to me, dynamites come in small packages. My dad made me understand that even as a youngster, I can do a lot in my society.
Great things come in small packages.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, one thing that has come to me during this broadcast is that every youngster needs to know that there is a king inside of them. And no matter what anyone says,
For every male youngster.
every male youngster, for every male youngster, there is a king inside of you.
And what about the females?
And you females, there is a queen.
Okay, now we got it.
No matter what anyone says, no matter what comes against you, life is a gift.
Yes.
And every moment you have is a gift from God. So we must make the most of it, and we must live it out each minute at a time.
Me? Well, like Les Brown said today,
We're competing with noise, background noise.
Oh, right. We need to start in order to become great. Because if we don't start something, we never become great. And we don't have to be great
to get started.
Start, but we have to start to be great. Very powerful.
Yes.
That young people need to realize it's a step at a time. You don't need to be up there before you begin your journey. You can't start by writing a book, your inspirations, your ideas, and it will work out for you if you believe you can do it.
It's interesting, one of our trainers at the Platinum Speakers has a statement that says, it works if you work it.
Yes,
So basically, you're saying it works if you work it. And sometimes you may not feel like you're getting as far as you would like to be at a given time, but you just keep consistently stepping forward.
Right.
If you end up slipping back, you continue to move forward. And I heard you both say something about there was peer pressure. What about siblings? Or how many siblings in your family?
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother.
And what number child are you?
I'm number 1, the first
Oh,
one.
so you're the oldest.
Yes.
Okay, what about yourself?
I'm the first one as well.
Ah, okay. And I'm sure our cameraman can relate to that because he's the oldest as well. And so there's something about an oldest child. Did you feel a greater sense of responsibility was placed on you?
Yes, definitely. I mean, when you're the first, I mean, you set an example. They're looking up to you, and you have to stand in the gap for them and watch them grow and watch yourself grow as well, making sure they don't make the same mistakes as you make. So you do have quite a great responsibility.
Did you feel that as well?
Yes, certainly. I think one of the main things that brought us together is our struggles, the tough times. Like I remember last year that my mother was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And it just, even through that struggle, because my mother is a rock in our family, she is the person who everybody looks to, who does everything for everyone. And so when that happened, it just brought us closer together. I needed to step up as a brother and as a man. And that just brought us closer together. It enabled us to bond more, because sometimes it's hard for siblings to bond as they grow older. Enabled us to open up, and as I found that our struggles have brought us closer together as a family.
So the good times produce character,
yes,
strength.
Definitely.
Now, were both of your parents in your home when you were growing up?
No. I live with my mom and my stepdad.
Okay.
And I see my dad very regularly.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad and my mom have been married for 23 years. Very good example for me.
Okay.
And
gives you hope?
Yes, definitely. And it does make a difference because you do get a balanced side of it. And especially if they're one, you can't go to mom and say that this to me, you know. And it does make a difference. I'm very positive that in our generation, hopefully with this message that we're sending across, we will reduce broken marriages in our generation.
And even restore the value of marriage, you know, of having a spouse and a family together and working at it.
Settling down.
So your family's still in
Nigeria?
Okay.
Yes, they are.
Well, good. When you go back, I hope to come and visit you sometime.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And I've been to Jamaica. Have you been there to see relatives and family?
Yes, I have been there a few times in the past. Very nice weather.
Yes. Beautiful water. And yes, I loved it.
And the palm trees.
Yes. Hammocks. So this has just been amazing to me. And I'm just curious, do any of you aware of any of the issues of the foster care system here? Do you know anything about young people who have been like in foster homes or group homes?
Yes, I think one of the foundations of a family is the parents. And when a child doesn't have a stable footing in the home, they lose direction.
Now, have you personally known someone?
Yes, I have known someone. I've known someone who was had struggles with drug problems, who's moved on from one foster home to another.
Okay.
And it was a shame that, you know, we lost contact with her.
Okay.
And it's such a struggle to find that direction.
Yes. And that's really my passion. And I want young people to know, regardless of what they've gone through. And fortunately, I met one young lady on Wednesday evening who got to the foster home, but I didn't have an opportunity to do the interview. But I think everyone knows someone, usually at some point, who has. and you look, and it helps you, I guess, you to also to be able to have gratitude for the struggles that you don't have. Not that you don't have struggles, but to look at those. Is there a foster care system in Nigeria?
Well, a foster care system. First of all, I do not know much on that subject.
Okay.
But
I've heard of orphanages there.
Oh yes, there are
Okay.
orphanages, and unfortunately, the system is quite not in place in Nigeria, which is one of my visions for the future, to go back. That's one of the reasons why I'm here, to get ideas, get inspiration, go back these places where we have failed, to be responsible, to contribute something in Nigeria.
Yeah, and that's a vision of mine, and I actually have a colleague at home who, hi Lillian, we've been talking about actually building a school, working with someone to build a school there, but I want to actually just go and nurture children and be a mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you grow up with friends who didn't have parents?
Oh yes, I did. Funny thing is, about 3 of my girlfriends, ex-girlfriends.
He may make that clarify that.
Get it clear. Had lost their dad or their mom, and I just found out that it's really a difficult place to be, but at the same time, it really helps when you discover yourself and realize that it's no point doing anything about what you cannot change, but about the things you can change in your life. And as was discussed in the seminar today about forgiveness, it's the same thing. We got to let go of some things, and I do. It is one of my passion. One of the things I really long to do, to bring encouragement to people like this, because I seem to understand, what they go through, and sometimes we can't deny the fact that some of these people haven't been able to get to a place where they just let go and forget about what's happened and just,
And you know why I think that is? I think, for one, because it hasn't been validated or acknowledged. And so one of the issues that I have with the state in the States is get over it. And my thing is, you don't get over it, you get through it. And there's healing has to take place for you to come to a place and realizing that you're here for a purpose, these things have happened, and they're going to lead you to something else. But that void can be so great, and if no one even acknowledges that, it just gets bigger.
Definitely. It's very good that we do have people like you.
Thank you.
And I do have hope in this program that you're about the village, because we do need people like you to bring encouragement to people that do need this.
Thank you. There you have it. You can understand why I'm so excited. So imagine 2 whole days of this, and they aren't the only ones that were here. There were adults, there are other young people, but because of a time factor, we weren't able to get everyone in here. But I am just excited because we do have a higher vision, a larger vision for our young people, and I want the village to take that upon so much. And our young people, I love you, and this is just an example. Everybody has struggle. No matter what something looks like from the outside, there's something going on the inside. But you have greatness in you. You are kings. You are queens. And we want to see you take your thrones. So we thank you, everyone, for joining in, for watching Visions for a Child's Heart. God bless. Bye-bye. Are there any single parents here? Yes, and sometimes you know that your family may say, that's your responsibility. That's your responsibility. But I have a statement that says, they're all our children. And I realize not everyone has the same passion as I do, but how many of you know that our children are the greatest investment that we can make into our future? Okay, they are our most valuable asset. And so when we are looking at worried about the recession, worried about our income, worried about how things are going to work out, sometimes we're neglecting our most valuable would be the person that would restore hearts, that would restore communities, that would take us to a higher level of vision for ourselves. And so we must invest. And I want to share with you some things that you can do, that we can do, whether you are a parent, a neighbor, an auntie, a school teacher, a counselor, things that we can do, simple things that we can do to increase the value of our community, of our children, of our relationships with our children, and most of all, the value of their lives. And I want you to write some things down. I always use the letters and the acronym with heart. I want you to write down the first letter is H. It's important that we hold a higher vision of our children, not only for them in our minds. Sometimes your children will make you angry or they'll do something and all you can see in your mind is, this is going nowhere. I can see you, and one of the first things we will often say is that, okay, you're going to end up just like somebody that you don't particularly admire. But we first of all have to have a vision in our minds of seeing these young people not the same as they are. And there's a scripture, again, that says without the vision, the people perish. So if we don't have our vision for our children to hand over to them, what's going to happen? They're going to perish. And we are looking at that, but we have to call those things that are not as though. Okay. So the first thing is to hold the vision, write the vision down. If you need to get a poster board, create a vision board, put pictures of our children on there in positive surroundings and settings so that you can see that. That way, you don't give up as easy. Because you can say, okay, you're acting up out there, but I know you're my little doctor. I know you're my little attorney. I know with all that now, you're going to be speaking things into the earth. Because everything, every behavior needs to be channeled into something positive. So that H is for hold the vision. Then E, the next letter is E, write down E, is to express that to our children. And express what it is that we know for them, and also to express our love. A lot of times as parents, we get really, really busy, people in our communities just go on, and children are hurting inside, they're lonely. Sometimes we're so hard on them, and I'm not only talking about our babies, I'm talking about what I call my big babies, the adults, young adults, the adolescents. How many of us here know that we like to be loved on every now and then? How much it makes your day better when somebody says, you know, I appreciate you so much. Or someone says, I love you. Or I like this about you. Or I just know you're going to have a great day. How many times have you seen your children out in the morning mad? Just get out of here. Just get out of here. Don't give me no mess. Just get your stuff. Get your clothes and get out of here. We don't need to hear that. I think that's why the world is so stressed. Because people leave out home in the morning, they go to work with an attitude, they don't bump the kids go to school and have an attitude with the teacher, then they have an attitude with the other kids, they come home, everybody's still mad. You have to start the pace off. So express your love. We have a DJ in my area, in the San Francisco Bay Area, named Kevin Brown, and I love in the morning, he says, he'll tell you what the day is, he said, hug your babies, hug our babies today and tell them you love them. And I just love to hear him say that. So express your love, express the vision that you have for them. And you don't have to be the parent, you can be someone walking on the street. I love walking up to young people on the street and say, I like that. You have a nice smile. Or just say something to compliment because it's so easy to look at the negativity. Find something to express your appreciation for who they are. Even if they say, excuse me, just say, you know, that was really nice of you. Or they hold the door open. Express appreciation. The A is for affirmation, to affirm them. They need to also hear positive things. You need to create positive things. When you're looking at what it is that you're doing, girl, I am a good parent. I am a good investor in my community. I love my children. Even if you're not feeling it, you might not like them. I believe that really you do love them. Sometimes you don't like them very well. You have sometimes those days that you look at somebody, I'm not liking you right now. Okay. So at least give an affirmation. I heard this morning Mr. Brown come in with a comment about that who are you? Who are our children? not from us. So when you realize they've been entrusted in our care, they're really not ours, but God has given us that responsibility to nurture, to love, to parent, to teach, to guide our young people. And you can't do that if you're just filling them with a bunch of negativity. So you affirm them, you give them positive statements, have them to repeat it back. The scripture also says, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by
the Word of God.
Okay, the Word of God. Is there anything in the Word of God that says, you ain't no good? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen in the Bible that says, you ain't gonna be nothing? Have you heard the Bible say anything about, you are my heart? You are the apple, the star, the God's eye?
Yes.
Those are the things we need to be saying to our young people. In a sense, faith comes by hearing. So faith is, another word for faith is belief. So what is that young person going to believe about themselves? What they're hearing. So we need to change what we're saying to them. The R is for reassurance. We have to continue to reassure them that we are there for them. I tell my young people, my kids, you know, I'm not necessarily liking what you're doing, but I'm not going to abandon you. Kids have that fear, because sometimes you say, I just want you out of my face, I wish you weren't here, or I'd be glad when you're gone and out here. They really honestly think they don't want us. I had a situation as a social worker, and I shared in my book where a young man was 11 years old, he had run away from home, we went to the police, I saw it on the news, went to the police station with an emergency response social worker, and his little boy was there. The mother was this huge woman, and we asked the little boy, why did he run? He said, my mother told me, if I get in trouble at school today, don't even bother to come home. Well, what did he do? He got in trouble, and he didn't come home. I said, oh, that's a child after my own heart. He really listened. She should have been glad he was obedient. But we asked her, and he had bruises on his body. We asked, have you ever beat him? She said, no. And she said, oh, maybe just once. We said, well, what was that all about? She said, I asked him if he thought I was stupid. And he said, sometimes. Have you ever felt that way? Or you ask a child a question, they tell you the truth, and you don't want to, you say, you can't handle the truth? But that child had the sense that his mother didn't want him there anyway. And there's a long story. At 11 years old, that child was separated from his twin brother. He's now 37 and has never been reunited with his family. How do you think that feels inside of his heart? So we need to reassure them that we're going to be there for you regardless of what happens. And the T is for trust the process. Trust the process. Trust God. Trust the promises that what you're sowing, you're going to reap from. It's like an investment. If I make enough investments, something is going to come forth. And you invest in more than one. And sometimes you might say, I can't even do with more than one. But God gives us the grace. And so when you keep doing those things over and over, don't be discouraged. Don't give up. There is always, always, always hope. And you'll be surprised when those same young people will come back and share with you. Some sooner than others, some a little later, but I guarantee you, it is more than worth it. And if you're still struggling, if you're a parent or someone and you say, this doesn't seem to be working, again, trust God. And in the words of Mr. Brown's book, which is also the epilogue of my book, it said, it's not over till we win. Because once we have prayed, once we have done everything that we can do, there's nothing else good to come out of it. And it reminds you that each of these children have their own journey. How many of you have some rough beginnings or middle or somewhere along the line? And you can see where you are today. Look at your life, look at others who succeeded, have that same faith for our children. So I just want to encourage you, invest in our village, invest with heart, and don't give up. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce to you one of the motivators from London itself, none other than, I call her Nessicle affectionately. Her name is Vanessa McLean. Give her a round of applause. Come on.
for my children, mothers weep.